Tired of supplements that don't seem to do anything? Meet Beyond Tangy Tangerine, BTT, the one that actually delivers. Each scoop gives you 87 of the 90 essential nutrients your body needs. You'll feel it almost right away. That vitamin B kick boosts your energy and your mood. Now here's what makes it different. BTT is built on plant-derived colloidal minerals. Most products stop at vitamins. BTT focuses on minerals your body can actually absorb. You'll feel it inside and out. Each canister is a full month's supply. Just mix it with water or in your smoothie. It tastes great and blends easy. Choose the original, the 2.0, or the new 2.5 tropical fruit. Extra vitamin B, extra punch, and that clean, tangy flavor you'll look forward to. Start feeling like $1,000,000 with Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Go to themineralway.com to order. That's themineralway.com. Safe, easy, and legit. Don't go anywhere else. Themineralway.com.
Buster, is that you? You're moving like a pup on espresso. What gives?
Thanks. Just keeping up with my routine. Some light jogs, a few unauthorized trash inspections, and started taking Arthrodex.
Arthrodex? Is that one of those new chew toys with Bluetooth?
Nah, it's a supplement from Youngevity. It's loaded with vitamins, minerals, amino acids, even stuff to keep my joints moving like they used to.
So, it's like a multivitamin, but it actually tastes good?
Exactly. My coat's shinier, I'm springier than ever, and the stairs don't mock me anymore.
Man, I've been getting winded halfway through Squirrel Patrol.
Tell your human to go to themineralway.com. That's where mine gets it. Easy peasy.
Done. I'm one biscuit away from entering the Zoomy Olympics.
Give your pets the nutritional support they deserve with Arthrodex from Youngevity, because staying active, happy, and healthy never goes out of style. Available now at themineralway.com.
1080. You're listening to Flight 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz. No, you're not. You're listening to The Mineral Way with pharmacist Ben Fuchs and Dave Michaels every Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs and I are here to answer your questions, read your text messages, answer your emails, and even snail mail if you wish to send it. But, I mean, why not, Ben? Why not, dude?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? You sound a little ambivalent today. Are you sure?
What does that mean?
Like you're not sure. Not sure the phone number.
Oh, Ben, dude, I've been so busy today, Ben, I don't even know which way is up, dude.
How do you do all that?
I have no idea, Ben. All I know is I'm here now, and so, you know, what do you want from me?
All right.
Okay. Ben, so I've celebrated a birthday recently.
You have?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
Today. And
shut up. Seriously?
Yeah, it is.
No way. I should have known, though, you're a Libra.
Yeah.
You know what Libra's about?
Libras are about justice in the American way.
Not bad. You know, the scales rule. The symbol of Libra is the scales, but it's about love and relationships and connection, all the stuff you're good at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't you think?
Well, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I'm okay. I guess I'm okay.
Yeah, it's about being diplomatic, charming, appreciating fairness.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that you?
Yeah, that's me. Ben.
Don't you have a thing for fairness?
I do. Absolutely.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I know you do. That's what Libra's all about.
Wow, that's
ruled by
good.
Venus, the love planet.
Oh, really?
It's your love nature.
Oh, man,
It's
I didn't know that, Ben.
nature. Yeah. Venus is also a female sign. It's your feminine side.
Oh, wow.
That's why you're a little bit feminine. That's why you like cats. You really? Seriously.
Well, they're not only feminines.
No, I know, but you have you have that kind of nurturing thing you do.
Well, that's how
you're a nurturer.
That's how you get the chicks, Ben. I mean, they can sense when a guy is,
nurturing.
Yeah.
Aren't you a nurturer? Wouldn't you say that?
I guess, yeah.
I think you are.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's why you do Youngevity.
Yep.
You don't do Youngevity just because you want to get people minerals and supplements. You do Youngevity because you care about people.
I do. Yes.
Right? I know you do. I've known you for a long time, and you genuinely care about people. And I'll tell you what, the people who succeed in Youngevity really that's one of the threads that runs through all the successful Youngevity distributors' lives is you care about people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really cool book called Go Givers Sell More. Have you heard of this?
No, Ben, tell me about this book.
Yeah, it's about being a salesperson that gives. You know, it's like sales has this kind of bad connotation, you know, taking things from people and selling things that they don't really want. But really, if you're going to be a really good salesperson, you got to care about the people you're selling to.
Yeah.
And this book, Go Givers Sell More, it's about this new approach to selling, where you sell by giving. There's a bunch of YouTubes on it and such. It's kind of a thing. And you know who's really taking up taking the ball and running with it when it comes to this idea of go givers selling more and the go giver influencer and this whole go giver theme that seems to be in the culture starting to take place in the culture are Gen Z and millennials. Us old farts, you know, we're over the hill a little bit, but Gen Z and millennials, they're going to change things. They don't like BS. They appreciate community. They appreciate helping other people. And there's kind of a hopeful thing that's happening with Gen Z and the millennials. Not all of them, but as a trend.
You know, Ben, I think you're right about that. I really think you're right about that.
Have you noticed that with your Gen Z friends and your millennial friends? You know, they care more. The Gen Zs especially hate BS. I noticed. They're sick of BS.
Why do you think that is, Ben?
Because there's so much BS in the world, and they're growing up with it.
Well, there's always been BS, and we've always grown up with it.
It's reached a tipping point, though.
You know what? I would bet you that it has to do with technology and the connectivity that we all have.
Yeah.
It makes a difference when you can share information that quickly and that thoroughly.
Yeah. Gen Z, the Gen Zs in particular, they were born, I think, 2007 or 2006, something like that. So they kind of grew up with technology. The iPhone was 2008. So that's like the first generation that they always had, as far as their memory goes, they've always had that kind of connectivity. And it's got to have an impact on the culture.
Totally.
And society. Doesn't it feel like this is like the last gasp of the baby boomers? Like you know, I don't want to get into politics too much, but the old farts who are running the country here.
No, they've done a great job, Ben.
Yeah, they really have. Yeah, we're doing
you
great.
Guys. What happened to these guys? Full of their ideals, and now they're just full of you know what?
Well, a couple of people at the top, maybe. We won't get into that.
It's not just them, Ben. It's a people, you know. I mean, everybody. It's greed. I mean, there's so much greed out there, Ben,
right,
and the baby boomers are not immune from it. As a matter of fact,
the baby boomers are the ones who caused it all.
Yes, it's terrible. It's done terrible things to our economy, our housing market, our health. It's done just terrible things.
Yeah,
and these guys were supposed to be all lovey-dovey and they had their head in the right way, and they're going to change the world. That's what I say, Ben.
I know, because they got old, and when you get old, you kind of get conservative, and you don't want to change things anymore.
Well, Ben, how about this? That's a perfect segue, Ben. Let's say that you are getting old and you want to live longer. Yeah, you say, you know what? I like this world. I want to live longer. I want to live healthier. I want to be happier. Do we have any suggestions?
Yeah, I got a bunch of suggestions.
Okay.
Two of them are like they go together. Two sides of the same coin here.
Okay.
One coin. Less calories, more supplements. That's what I would do. Calorie restriction with optimum nutrition. They call it Cron diet. That's the first thing I would do. Second thing I would do is exercise. Have you ever heard of exercise snacks?
No. Is that like potato chips and Pringles?
No, it's not like that. An exercise snack is like a short 5-minute exercise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we have this kind of idea sometimes that there's like this all or none perspective that you have to have on nutrition and on exercise and on healthy lifestyle. Either you're all in or you're not, or either you're all in or you're all out. Exercise snacks are this idea where you just have little bursts of exercise a couple times a day, 2-3 times a day, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes of exercise. That's it. And you can, it'd be nice if it was intense exercise, like jumping up and down on a rebounder, for example, or getting on an exercise bike, or one of those step devices they have at the gym. Just 2 or 3 minutes. You don't need to do a lot. The idea that you need to do a lot of exercise, I think that scares people, don't you think? Like, it scares people from the gym. It scares people from jumping into a exercise program because they think they got to like dedicate an hour a day or an hour every couple
What is
days.
the optimal amount of time? Ben?
There is the optimal amount of time is enough time for you to feel like you don't want to do it. The optimal amount of time is the time it takes for your body to say stop, and then you keep going. You know what I mean? You ever get on the exercise bike and your body's like, okay, now it's time to go. Yeah, you've done enough, that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the appropriate amount of time is just past that. So you're feeling like you've stressed yourself, like you're uncomfortable. The appropriate amount of time is when you're uncomfortable. It's enough time to get you to feel uncomfortable. The whole idea of exercise is it's uncomfortable. If it's comfortable, I would say it's not exercise if it's comfortable, because the whole idea of exercise is that you're putting a stress on the body.
Yeah.
That you're making the body do something it wouldn't ordinarily do. You're overriding the body's tendency to not want to do anything. The body has a tendency to conserve energy, and you have to override that if you're going to exercise and get bigger. Now, you don't have to, but then you deteriorate. So, to me, the Cron diet has calorie restriction, optimum nutrition, and that means nutrient-dense foods, but also nutritional supplementation, exercise, oxygenation, or respiration, we'll say. And I do breathing exercises every morning, and I encourage everybody to do breathing exercises. And when you do breathing exercises, you want to engage the diaphragm. You know what I mean when I say the diaphragm? That big muscle in the middle of your body.
Mm-hmm.
You want to engage the diaphragm for a lot of reasons. You get better circulation. The diaphragm actually acts like a pump. That's particularly important for people who have heart disease or who are dealing with congestive heart failure or circulatory issues, who have edema, swelling in the bottom of their body, their legs and their feet. Breathing where you engage the diaphragm actually supports the heart in pumping blood. So it also supports electrification. The diaphragm improves electrical energy in the blood. So engaging the diaphragm several times a day at least, or at least once a day with breathing exercises, and then also challenging your mind. I think challenging your brain/mind, with new things, novelty, new books, new language, study a different language, travel to different countries, try different foods. Even something like brushing your teeth with the opposite hand can actually activate neural connections and help you form new synapses or new brain connections. Just brushing your teeth with your left hand or your opposite hand, or writing with your opposite hand. All of those are strategies that will add years to your life. You know what else? When you go to the grocery store,
yeah,
and you get they have the bins, the bulk section with the bins, the nuts and such, and you write down the code number. Instead of writing down the code number, memorize the code number.
Oh, that's crazy, Ben.
No, it's not. Memorize your credit card. Memorize one credit card number. Right? Memorize phone numbers. Engage your brain. Do something different. That's another wonderful strategy.
Can you memorize your credit card number?
Yeah.
Ben? Tell me right now.
No. I tell you my credit card number.
All right.
No, but I do. Try to memorize my most important credit card number. I memorize that.
Okay.
But I always lose it, so I have to rememorize it again.
831-479-1080, 218-572.
Can we talk about Parkinson's disease? You want to talk about Parkinson's?
Sure, yeah, Ben. Let me check for text messages.
Yeah, check for text. There's an article that came out.
Bunch of birthday wishes. But yeah, tell me about.
And there was another article that came out, and I said, I've got to find this. Well, I found this toxin that's in home cleaning products and solvents and lubricants and such. It's called trichloroethylene that's associated with Parkinson's disease. And TCE is a little bit hard to get rid of. It's used in a lot of processed foods, and they're associating it with Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's is a really interesting issue. I have a client that I've been working with in Alabama. He heard me on Coast to Coast, and he called me just randomly. He had Parkinson's, and he said nothing was helping him. And he was on this Parkinson's drug called Sinemet, or levodopa, some people call it. And nothing was helping him. Well, the drugs weren't helping him. And I put him on, guess what, a nutritional supplement program, and changed the way he ate, and he's a new man. And he'd been going to doctors for years. And all he'd been getting was the medication. There's nothing we could do about it. I don't know. Have you ever seen people with Parkinson's? It's terrible.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
It is.
Oh, my God. It's absolutely heartbreaking. When it gets really bad, you can't even hold a glass of water. So Parkinson's is, like all health challenges, due to toxicity in the blood, which ultimately makes it to the brain. And by the way, you know this idea, I don't know if you've heard this, but there's this, the classic orthodox medicine take on Alzheimer's dementia is something called amyloid plaques. Have you heard of this?
No.
Amyloid plaques are these kind of gooey, tangly nerves that show up in the brain. A plaque is like a lesion. And so they blame these amyloid plaques for Alzheimer's, not realizing that amyloid plaques happen all over the body. And the reason they happen all over the body is when tissue is damaged, and when they happen in the brain, it's because tissue is damaged, and they're blaming the amyloid plaques, but the amyloid plaques are really the way the body is dealing with the damaged tissue, so the damaged brain tissue. So what do you think that causes damaged brain tissue? The same thing that causes all other health challenges, including Parkinson's disease, and that's toxicity in the blood, and that includes sugar. Sugar represents a blood toxin, even though you do need a little bit of sugar. Its effect on the blood is a toxic effect. It causes the blood to become sludgy and sticky. It reacts with the blood vessels, causing inflammation, and other toxins as well. This one in particular, trichloroethylene, is now being blamed for Parkinson's. But the most common source of blood toxicity is not trichloroethylene from degreasers or from processed foods. The most common source of toxicity in the blood is our voluntary ingestion of the corporate swill, of fast foods and processed foods, and of leaky gut and from inflammation at the level of the intestine. And one of the major causes of leaky gut is, you're going to love this, French fries.
Oh, no, Ben.
Yes. One of the major causes of leaky gut issues is fried foods. And that's one of the things that Doc has been talking about for a long time, the problems with fried oils and cooking oils. You don't want to be frying and cooking with your oils, but you don't want to be purchasing oils that have been processed with solvents and with heat, because those are likewise going to be inflammatory, particularly for the intestine. Once you get stuff into the gut, once you get stuff into the blood through the gut, you're off to the disease races, and that includes Parkinson's disease. And that's why my buddy in Alabama, I put him on a completely different, changed the way he ate and put him on a nutritional supplement program. He's a new man. And that can happen to anybody who has an organic brain issue. It doesn't have to be Parkinson's. It could be a dementia as well. There's no such thing as a degenerative health condition that is not reversible, and that includes cancer, by the way. There is no such thing as a long-term chronic degenerative disease that is not reversible. Now, depending on how far down the rabbit hole you are, it may take you a long time to completely reverse, but you can start the reversal process immediatamente.
Wow, Ben.
Yes, sir.
I like that kind of talk, Ben.
I know.
Wow, dude.
That's so important. Because you go to the doctor, and what are you told? Oh, you're going to be on this medicine the rest of your life. Oh, there's no known cause for this. Oh, it's just your mother had it, so you're going to have it. It's blah, 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 genetic. Baloney. That's not how the body works.
831-479-1080, 218-572-6KSEO Dave@gmail.com. I have a text message here, Ben, then we can get to a phone call.
Yeah.
Says, hey Dave, can you ask Ben if he knows of a really good shower filter?
Yeah, shower filters are a great idea.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Because chlorine, you get chlorine and fluoride in your water when you're in the shower. And presumably most people take hot showers with hot water. Mm-hmm. Your pores are open, and that means the chloride and the fluoride have easy access to your blood. They're going right in through your pores. I like shower filters that have vitamin C in them.
What?
You get a shower filter with vitamin C in it.
I did not know that, Ben.
Yes, sir. And
Tell me more.
Not only does vitamin C act to protect you against fluoride and chlorine, but vitamin C is really good for your skin on top of everything else. There's a brand called Voesh, which is a vitamin C shower filter. Mm-hmm. That's the one I know of, but there's a few of them out there. VitaClean is another one. There's a couple. The Voesh one is relatively inexpensive, and it works. And that's the way I would do it. There's a lot of shower filters out there, and a shower filter is a good idea, but I would recommend the kind that have vitamin C in them.
Wow. All right, 831-479-1080. Flinks is calling from Aptos. Ben, he has a question for you.
You say Flinks?
Yes, sir.
I think I know Flinks.
Yeah, I've called a couple times, and I like your idea on the hereditary thing, but to me it's not really a gene thing.
Yeah.
It's a diet thing. So if your dad's grandpa, he had steak and eggs every morning, and your dad's dad. Yes. So it's still hereditary. It's still in the gene pool because it's a constant meal. Like the meals in the family is passed down. So that's part of it too, right?
Yes, that is a good point. And that's why sometimes people will conflate genetics with lifestyle. It's not necessarily
lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle thing. Like your grandparents, your parents, and you ate the same thing, for example, or were in the same kind of cigarette smoke environment, for example, or kind of things like that. But it's not like it's built into your genetics. That's kind of the implication.
No, I have a doctor. My doctor. I had a question about the flu shot, but first I want to ask you about my doctor, because I never smoked and stuff. But both my brother and my dad, they smoked, and my brother actually chewed tobacco, And he said that can damage your veins. Like tobacco, nicotine, that stuff damages your veins. And like that can help lead to build up in arteries and stuff because the veins are damaged. And then, but I've never smoked. So the doctor thinks that since I haven't smoked, that's to my advantage as far as that goes. I mean, with that one thing, is that a true statement?
I'm not sure what you're asking me. Cigarette smoking is one of the worst things a human being can do to their body. Nicotine, which is in the chew that you're talking about, that can cause that's a vasoconstrictor, and that can increase your blood pressure. Increasing blood pressure can definitely damage the blood vessels.
But nicotine on its own wouldn't damage blood vessels.
Yeah, nicotine on its own is a vasoconstrictor, and that can narrow the arteries and make it harder for the heart to pump blood through. That increases the pressure, which can damage the inside part of the vessels, and that can lead to problems for sure. There's some interesting literature on nicotine now as far as supporting learning, having some health benefits actually. Particularly around relaxation and learning. And it's just starting to kind of come out now, particularly for folks with dementia issues. So I'm not exactly sure where that's going to go, but I can tell you that nicotine activates a part of the nervous system called the cholinergic nervous system. Nicotine's a fundamental molecule that activates what they actually call them nicotinic receptors in the cholinergic nervous system, which has can give you some interesting health benefits. Nonetheless, it's also associated with vascular inflammation and oxidative byproducts, reactive oxygen species they call them, which can be damaging. So it's probably not a good idea to be doing
What's
nicotine.
What's your position?
Chewing
really, why I called was because there's a lot of pressure on me by my brother and his girlfriend and stuff because we live each other. Flu vaccine, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I did the COVID shot. I've never had a flu shot, but I had the COVID shot, and it gave me. No, you're going to go. No, this is probably your diet, but it gave me heart palpitations. And the doctor said that sometimes people that have had COVID on their second dose of the vaccine, it could give you heart palpitations. And I'm like, you're okay with that? You're okay with that? You knew this and you gave this to me, and I already have high blood pressure.
Right.
What is your opinion
on the flu vaccine? The flu vaccine? My opinion is anybody who understands chemistry, who understands how the flu vaccine works, and understands how the immune system works, would never take the flu vaccine. It's crazy. First of all, they don't really know. When they're making the flu shot, they make it the year before. They don't make it to every year. The influenza virus changes, and so they don't know what it's going to look like. So when they're making the flu vaccine, they got to make it based on last year's flu. Do you understand what I'm saying? They don't make it based on this year's flu. So you're taking a vaccine that helps you with last year's flu. Perhaps there's some overlap, but the point is you're injecting something into your body, into your blood, that's supposedly going to address last year's problem, not this year's problem. But here's where the flu vaccine and vaccines in general become really problematic. When we think of a vaccine, we think of the active ingredient, but we don't realize that active ingredient has to be processed somehow, and so it has other chemicals associated with it. And even worse than that, they put chemicals in the vaccines that act as adjuvants. ADJUVANTS. An adjuvant is a chemical that amps up your immune system, specifically so it can create antibodies for whatever the poison was in the flu vaccine. But these adjuvants can be highly poisonous on their own. And so you have not only the components of the flu vaccine, many of which are oils and fats, particularly that vaccine that came out a couple years ago that you just talked about. They have these oils and fats which are highly reactive in the blood, and they don't even tell you about those. Those are ingredients in the vaccine. And then you have the adjuvants, which act like aluminum and squalane, which act to rev up the immune system to make it even more active. So there's really no need for a flu vaccine. It's really stupidity, if you ask me, especially considering that there's many other ways to support your immune system so you don't get the flu. And even if you got the flu, unless you're really, really ill or elderly or frail, it's not the end of the world to have the flu.
Okay, but if it means that much to them, does it really matter in my case just to do it? Just do it.
Mean that much to your relatives, to your family?
If it means a lot to them, can I do it and it's relatively safe as far as?
It's not. There's worse things to do, but it's not great. I don't know why you would introduce that kind of stuff into your blood, but there's worse things. Obviously, it's not as bad as like shooting up heroin, probably, but it's not great for you. And when family members put pressure on other family members to do things that they don't want to do for their health, that's not very kind and loving, if you ask me.
Well, last year, about February of last year, I got the flu really bad, and my brother had just had a stroke, so I gave it to him, and he ended up in the hospital. So I'm dealing with like this whole thing, But I think since I had the flu in February, I'm probably good right now with the antibodies.
You might be. That's right. You might be. You might have built up immunity. That's exactly right. And that's really what you should be doing, is building up immunity.
Thank you for the call, Flinks. 831-479-1080
Flinks' real name
is the phone. I don't think so, Ben. It's just an alias that he uses.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Let's get to our final commercial break, Ben. How does that sound? 2 minutes. We're going to break.
First and final.
We're going to break for 2 minutes, and then we'll be back. This is KSEO, The Mineral Way. Looking for a better way to take charge of your health and maybe even your income? Then listen up, because themineralway.com is your one-stop destination for world-class longevity products and a powerful business opportunity. At themineralway.com, you can order the same high-quality supplements featured on the Mineral Way podcast, trusted by thousands and shipped to customers across the U.S. and other countries around the world. And these aren't just any products. They're designed to support energy, clarity, mobility, all the things that help you live better, feel better, and stay active no matter your age. But here's where it gets really exciting. You can also become a distributor. When you enroll through themineralway.com, your sponsors, also known as your upline, are none other than pharmacist Ben Fuchs and me, Dave Michaels. That means you're not on your own. You'll get expert training, a full library of support materials, and your very own professional website all ready to go. You can run your entire business from your home computer, smartphone, or landline. No employees, no building to rent, no overhead, just you helping others, building a business, and creating a future. And if you're the kind of person who listens to the show, you already get it. You care about your health, you care about people. That makes you the perfect candidate to start your own business. Imagine setting your own hours, working with a team that wants to see you succeed, and waking up each day knowing that you're making a difference for yourself and for others. Plus, you can go at your own pace. Whether you want to earn a little extra on the side or go full-time, you're in control. No pressure, just real support and real opportunity. And here's the kicker. It's your business. You can pass it on to a family member or even sell it down the road. So whether you're looking to improve your health, build something meaningful, or add new income stream, it's all waiting for you. There is a better way. themineralway.com. That's themineralway.com. Check it out today. 831-479-1080. That is the phone number, 831-218-5726 with your text messages. That's 831-218-KSCO. You can also email kscodave@gmail.com and find out more or interact at themineralway.com. You can join pharmacist Ben Fuchs and I. You can join our team. Ben, we would love to have more members of the family, wouldn't we?
What happened to that gal that we just signed up? She's going to come on the call.
I don't know. I'm hoping that she does show up or whatever.
Yeah. I want her to tell us her story. I'm always interested in what people are thinking when they sign up as a distributor, what their end game is, what they're looking for.
Ben, I'm going to tell you a story.
Yeah.
And you're not going to believe me. You're going to say, Dave, you're full of baloney.
Okay.
But I'm telling you it's true, Ben.
Okay.
One of the best stories that I heard when I had the Dave Cave running was from a guy who had, well, he said bipolar, and I think he had been diagnosed, but I don't know. And he comes back to me and you know, after trying the BTT, and he comes back and buys a 6-pack, and he says, Dave, you won't believe it, but this stuff has, he didn't say cured, but he says he doesn't have a problem with being bipolar anymore, that the BTT had pretty much settled all that stuff down, and he was a huge fan, never wanted to run out, and he didn't.
Now, why do you think I would say that wasn't true?
Well, I don't know, Ben. I feel like nobody believes me when I tell them the things that I have seen with BTT. Nobody believes me, Ben. Maybe you will, but I don't know.
Because it sounds kind of ridiculous, doesn't it?
It does. It sounds ridiculous. When I say it, it sounds ridiculous.
I know, I get that. But, here's the thing. When you're deficient in nutrition, in nutrients, the micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, aminos, fatty acids, these things are so important for the body that, A, under deficiency states, you're going to start to exhibit symptoms like brain fog or bipolar issues, mental health issues, neural issues. And B, the body sucks these things up like a dry sponge sucks up water when it's in a deficiency state. When you're deficient in nutrients, your body becomes a dry sponge, ready to suck up nutrition, and it happens really quickly. And that's why we get the kind of results we do with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Now, Youngevity's got thousands of products. Literally, 2,500, 3,000 products, a lot of products. I don't even know how many. But nothing, I mean nothing, not in Youngevity, not in the health food store, not with other companies, nothing has the nutritional density and the bioavailability of a glass of Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Now, I know they have tablets, but the liquid is really what you're looking for. And I know I said it before, but I'll say it again for new listeners. You always want to vortex your liquids. That will improve the bioavailability of the nutrients in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, plus it will contribute on an electrical charge. So, vorticize it, create a vortex by using a blender. You know what I mean by vortex? Like a little, like a tornado inside the blender, and that electrifies the liquid, and it also makes the nutrients more bioavailable at the intestinal level, and ultimately probably at the intracellular level too.
Wow!
And that's all the nutrients, not just the minerals, but all the nutrients.
831-479-1080, 218-572-6. Craig is up next. He's calling from Campbell. You're in the air, Craig.
What's up, Craig?
Yeah. Hey, guys. Hey, couldn't you just shake up that drink a little bit? Would that be?
Yeah, you can shake it, but you're not going to get the same kind of electrification as when you create a vortex. You create a spiral, like a tornado. A vortex is one of nature's most fundamental shapes, if you will. And the way a tornado has power, one of the reasons it has power is because it's in a vortex. The same kind of power occurs inside, in a smaller way, of course, inside your blender. So vorticizing liquids increases their power. And no, you can't get that. I suppose if you stir it with a spoon, you'll get a mini vortex, but not like a blender, though.
Yeah, isn't it? You said your theory on the heart. It goes through there and it vorticizes
in the heart. That's exactly right. Your heart is a vortex. It has like threads in it. The vessels have threads, and as the blood goes through, it's vorticized in the circulatory system. And as it's vorticizing, it's creating electrical charges, and it's reacting with the electrical charges on the inside of the blood vessel, and that's how the blood moves. It's not pumped through. It's actually magnetically charged through, like one of those you ever hear these maglev trains they have in Japan and Asia, where the train it levitates on magnets, kind of, so it reduces the friction. And it can move fast without having to worry about losing energy through heat, which is what friction is. That's kind of how the liquid in the liquid in the vessels moves. The pump is not pumping. The heart is not pumping the blood. That's silly. There's no way your heart can pump liquid, a viscous, thick liquid, through 50,000 miles or 40,000 miles of vessels, some of which are microscopically thin. That doesn't even make any sense. How anybody can think that?
Do you ever try telling that to a heart specialist?
Yeah, you couldn't tell them because they just, they're a heart specialist is a mechanic. He's a technician, a skilled one, absolutely. And if you have, a heart problem, you want a skilled technician. But he's not a chemist. He's certainly not a physicist. If he was a chemist, he was a physicist, he would understand that the blood is moving in a vortical fashion, and that vortical fashion, much like in a hurricane or in a tornado, has a built-in energy, and that's how the heart moves, is through its vortical nature.
That's really interesting.
Did you hear me talk about that, or had you heard that yourself?
I heard you talk about it before, and I've heard a couple other people talk about that also in the past, but not like you. You could really go into in-depth. Where do you get your information on that, by the way?
On the vortex?
And the heart, yeah. I know.
I've never first read it, but I know Dr. Thomas Cowan talks about it. Cowen. He's a brilliant physician. He is a physician. You know, physicians don't necessarily understand chemistry or engineering or quantum, but he does, and he's absolutely brilliant. Dr. Thomas Cowan, Cowen. He writes about the immune system. He writes about vaccines. He writes about he talks about the myth. Get this, you're gonna love this, Dave. He writes about the myth of infectious disease. How he talks about how this idea of contagious disease, I should say, not infectious, but contagious diseases. He actually writes that the idea of contagion is a myth. I mean, he's got some really interesting things to say. He's one of the guys who really talks a lot about how the natural flow of blood inside the chambers of the heart naturally contains a vortex, or naturally creates a vortex inside the heart. And actually, you know what? If I'm not mistaken, and I have to look this up, I'm pretty sure Leonardo da Vinci, who was famous for doing drawings of all these different parts of the body, I think he might have also referred to the vortical nature of the heart. I mean, anybody who's an anatomist knows that there's kind of like, you know, the way the heart is built is there's a lot of spinning, there's a lot of twists in the heart architecture itself. So it's just kind of like it lends itself to thinking that there's going to be some kind of vortical nature to the fluids that are pumped through it.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. I'm going to look more into that.
Yeah, look up the heart as a vortex.
Heart as a vortex.
Yeah.
And they ought to have that guy on Coast to Coast.
Dr. Cowan, he may have been.
Yeah.
He may have been. But yeah, get the book, The Contagion Myth. That's one. He has like 4 or 5 books, but The Contagion Myth is the most recent one, and that's the most in the face of the modern medical model, which of course loves the idea of contagion.
Thank you for the call, Craig. 831-479-1080, 218-572-6KSEO Dave@gmail.com. Ben, if there was the Healthy Start Packs, there's several of them that Youngevity offers. If you had to pick 2 of the most important ones, what would they be?
Well, there's only 3. Why don't I pick all 3?
Oh, no, there's the Brain and Heart Pack, the Bone and Joint Pack, the Digestion Pack.
Well, the Healthy Start Pack itself is designed to give you all your Mighty 90 essential nutrients. It's 3 products. Mm-hmm. So you got your OsteoFX, mm-hmm. You've got your Ultimate EFAs, or mm-hmm. Ultimate EFA Plus, and you got the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Mm-hmm. That's the basics. That's going to get you a lot. I'm a less is more kind of guy. You know, have you ever heard the term minimalism?
Yes.
Right? It's kind of a thing now, minimalism. I say essentialism. You don't want things to be minimum. You don't want things to just be minimum. You want them to be minimum and what you really need. And that's why I use the term essentialism. Essentialism means you get everything that is essential. The word essential means you're dead without it. Air is essential. Water is essential. Food's essential. Without any of those things, you're dead. Love is essential. Without love, your relationship's dead. Mm-hmm. You know, there's essential means that without it, you're kaput. You're not going to make it. Mm-hmm. And so the essential nutrients are the classic example of essentialism, the essential nutrients, and that's what's in the Healthy Start Pack. Now, if you want to go all out and you want to pick one, and I think you're asking me of all the packs, which ones would I choose? Which ones are probably the most important? The 2 most important, I would say, are the Bone and Joint Pack and the Blood Sugar Pack. I'll tell you why. First of all, if you've heard me, you know, for the last any time for the last 30 years, pretty much on KSCO and doing the work I'm doing, you know, I'm always talking about the blood sugar system. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about that in the year 2000. I remember I did a talk for Youngevity in New Orleans in the year 2000 or maybe 2001 on, they called it Syndrome X back then. And Syndrome X was what we call today metabolic syndrome, which is the sugar and insulin-related syndrome that is associated with every single health challenge you can name. And that includes Parkinson's, which we're talking about here, and dementias, and immune problems, and autoimmune problems, and weight gain, and cardiovascular issues, and cancer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It all involves some degree of, not diabetes, but dysglycemia. Dis means disturbances. Glyce means sugar. Emia means in the blood. So I don't like the term diabetes because that's kind of like a brand name. I say dysglycemia, which is a generic biochemical phenomenon. So almost every single, I don't say almost, literally every single chronic degenerative health challenge has some aspect of dysglycemia. So the healthy blood sugar pack is important for that reason. That's obviously healthy blood sugar pack has the nutrients that help stabilize your blood sugar and help, by virtue of stabilizing your blood sugar, help lower insulin. And by the way, insulin is just as problematic, if not more problematic, than sugar. And nobody checks for your insulin. Insulin's too difficult to check because insulin levels fluctuate, and insulin is a multifunctional biochemical, and it's secreted. It's in the blood in very small concentrations. So you can't really test for insulin. They test for sugar. The problem with that is the insulin controls the sugar. So you'll go to the doctor. You have all the signs of dysglycemia, and he'll test your blood sugar, see how much what your blood sugar concentration is. They'll say, "Oh, you're normal. Everything's normal," but they're not checking the insulin, and the insulin is what's keeping the blood sugar normal. Elevated insulin, which happens in a condition called insulin resistance, is what the so-called metabolic syndrome is about, or they used to call it Syndrome X. And that's a constellation. Whenever you hear syndrome, by the way, that means a bunch of different things going wrong. A syndrome is when you have a whole bunch of functionality in the body that is not operating correctly. So metabolic syndrome is a syndrome that affects the heart and the immune system and the cartilage in the joints and all of the hormones and libido and sexuality and mental health and pretty much everything you could think of. And that's why they call it metabolic syndrome, because it affects everything. And the healthy blood sugar pack is it's not everything you need, but it's a bunch of what you need for dysglycemia and metabolic syndrome. So that would be the first thing I think about. I don't want to say it's my favorite or the most important. It's tied for the most important, which is the second one is the healthy bone and joint pack. Now, at Youngevity sometimes, and not just at Youngevity, but in the world of health, sometimes we just take a bunch of nutrients and just focus on one part of the body. So the healthy bone and joint pack, obviously, what part of the body is that marketed for? The bones and joints, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the bones and joints are connective tissue. So the healthy bone and joint pack is not just for bones and joints, it's for connective tissue. And what's connective tissue? Everything. Every single part of the body is somehow integrated with the connective tissue. The heart and the organs, the fascia, the stuff that's wrapped around the organs, and the eyes and the reproductive system. These are all areas where connective tissue plays a role. The gums, connective tissue plays a role. The skin, connective tissue plays a role. So when you're doing the healthy bone and joint pack, you're going to have better gums. You're going to have better skin. You're going to have better fascia. You're going to have better eyesight. You're going to have better everything because everything's connective tissue. The blood vessels are largely composed of connective tissue, so you're going to have healthier circulatory system. The intestine is largely composed of a connective tissue, so you'll have better digestion and you'll improve leaky gut. And of course, just for plain old vanity reasons, connective tissue is important for keeping wrinkles at bay and for protecting your skin from photo damage. Connective tissue is the let me rephrase that. Deterioration of connective tissue is the very heart and essence. Say essence, don't want to say heart. We'll say the essence of of the aging process. Everything we hate about aging, Dave, and you don't know this yet because you're still a young man, but in 10 years you won't be. And in 20 years, you'll be even less of a young man.
Thanks.
And what you're going to notice is anybody who's, I think you said you're 41 or 42, right? So
I just turned 53, Ben.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
53?
Yeah, I don't have much longer for this earth.
Oh my God, man. You're at the end. No, you're not. No, you're not. I wish I was 53 again. Oh my God. Do not let anybody tell you you're old.
All right.
Anyway, what you'll notice as you get older, and you can ask your friends who are my age or older, the things that we hate the most about aging, most of the things, are all connective tissue driven. The scoliosis and the hunched over appearance and the loss of mobility and the chronic pain and the cardiovascular problems and the high blood pressure and the cholesterol plaques and the osteoporosis and the arthritis. These are all, and the gum disease, and the wrinkles. These are all connective tissue deterioration driven. They're all caused by deteriorating connective tissue, which is why the healthy bone. Oh, and here's another thing. The connective tissue is what feeds and oxygenates and detoxifies all of the cells of the body. All of the cells of the body, the living part of the body is the cells. All of the cells in the body are embedded in connective tissue, just like a baby is embedded in a womb. The cells are like little babies embedded in connective tissue the way a fetus is embedded in the womb. And what does the womb do for the fetus? It feeds the fetus. It oxygenates the fetus. It detoxifies the fetus. And what does the connective tissue do for the cell? It feeds the cell. It oxygenates the cell. And it detoxifies the cell. So the healthy bone and joint pack is important for every single cell in the body because it's the womb. They actually call the stuff the cell is sitting in, can you picture like a cell is like a little fetus and it's embedded in a womb of connective tissue, microscopic womb of connective tissue? They call that connective tissue that the cell is embedded in, they call that, you ready for this? Yep. The matrix. It's called the extracellular matrix. Extracellular means outside the cell. Extracellular matrix. So the cell is embedded in a connective tissue matrix the way a fetus is embedded in a womb. And in fact, the word matrix in Latin, you know what it means? Womb. That's where we get the word mother, mater, matrix, womb.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is.
The extracellular matrix is the womb for the cell, and it's composed of connective tissue which is built up by the nutrients in the healthy bone and joint pack. So which do you think is more important, the healthy blood sugar pack or the healthy bone and joint pack?
If it was my money, Ben, I would get the blood sugar pack and just add glucogel.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's what I would do because the bone and joint pack comes with pain relieving cream, and for me,
Oh, you don't necessarily need that. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I don't.
I didn't know the CM cream is in there.
Yeah, it's in. It's.
We should talk about the CM creams one of these days. Oh, here, let me just say this real quick.
Okay.
One of the best strategies for building connective tissue is to use a type of chemical or molecule called a polysaccharide, right? Poly means many, saccharide means sugar. Mm-hmm. And one of nature's most effective and important polysaccharides for all kinds of reasons, including building connective tissue, is fucoidin, which, of course, you get in the Fucoid Z.
Yeah, we need to talk about that as well.
We absolutely need to talk about that. That's a heck of a product. That's one. When I talk about the longevity formulations, I only talk about maybe 10 of them, 10 or 12, and obviously Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Ultimate EFAs, Ultimate Enzymes. But one of the most important that I talk about, and I don't talk about a lot, is the Fucoid Z. That's one of the most important longevity products as far as I'm concerned. So many different benefits to that.
We just have a few more minutes, Ben. I have one more call, so you want to try to tackle that call?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. Paul, you are in the air. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, hi, guys. How you doing? Well, just one quick comment. What you're previously talking about, connective tissue, and like what I'm going through with my eyesight. Very important, ladies and gentlemen, right? Right?
That's right. How old are you, can I ask?
63.
Okay, you're a youngster. So are you losing your eyesight? Are you dealing with glaucoma or anything like that? What's going on?
My right eye glaucoma, my left eye retina issues.
Okay, both of them could be related to connective tissue. You know that, right?
Right. Yes,
right.
sir.
So
yes,
is it a retinal detachment, or what's going on with the retina?
Yes, I had my left eye a number of years ago. I had a cataract removal. When the doctors were removing the cataract, my left retina became detached, so they had to reattach the left retina.
Okay, so basically, the retina is attached to the connective tissue, and so and then the other one, glaucoma, the little valve. There's a little valve in the eye, and the valve's supposed to open and drain fluid. When you have glaucoma, that doesn't happen. The reason it doesn't happen is because the valve is disturbed because of its connective tissue.
Correct.
It doesn't have the connective tissue fibers that are required for the opening and closing of the valve. They're inflamed. They're deteriorating. So even glaucoma is a connective tissue condition. So all of these involve connective tissue, and the reason that's why we were talking about how many medical diagnoses are related to deteriorating connective tissue, not to mention just plain old aging and things that you wouldn't think about necessarily. Like you wouldn't think the eyes and who would ever think that glaucoma is arthritis of the eye? Nobody, right? Nobody's ever going to say that. Or retinal detachment is arthritis of the eye. But it's the same mechanism. It's deterioration of the connective tissue. And so what do you do? One of the things you could do is take the healthy bone and joint pack for sure. But one of the major reasons why connective tissue deteriorates is because of a biochemical process called glycation. Glycation is basically caramelizing or sugaring. And that's what happens to the connective tissue as we age. And that's why sugar is such a problem. When our sugar is not handled correctly, the sugar can react with various proteins in the body and basically create toast. Literally toast. You know how toasted bread looks different from regular bread? Right?
Exactly.
What's the difference? Glycation. That's what glycation is. It turns bread to toast, and it turns the collagen in your body into deteriorated connective tissue. We toast. How do you like that, Dave? We caramelize and we toast.
Wow, I never thought about it that way, Ben.
That's how we age. We caramelize and we toast.
Thank you for the call, Paul. 831-479-1080. Well, Ben, we are just about out of time.
About at that time?
Yes.
How does that happen, Dave?
I don't know. Can you believe it, Ben?
I know. It seems like, And now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. You know what song that is?
Isn't that the Mickey Mouse?
M-I-C.
Yeah, dude.
See you real soon.
Well, Ben, it's good to see you or good to hear from you, Ben. We're going to have to connect on Zoom or something. We're going to have one of these meetings.
I know, and I got to come out and see my friends in Santa Cruz, too.
Oh, yeah, you just let me know, Ben.
Away from home.
We will reserve a spot for you at the Elks Lodge or something like that.
No more Dave Cave.
No more Dave Cave, Ben, but that's,
There's a really cool restaurant that MZ took me to by the airport. You know what I'm talking about?
Ella's?
Ella's.
But they're not around anymore, Ben.
No.
Yeah, they're gone.
They closed?
Yeah. It's because you endorsed them.
Did I endorse them?
No,
I think I
know.
did.
No, I don't know. But, they've moved on. Things change, Ben. Things change.
I know.
Yeah.
That is true. All right. Well, it's always a pleasure, David Michaels. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
And let's give a little plug for some distributors. Anything we can do to encourage distributors to sign up? Because we want people that we can train, who can be our delegates, that we can deputize to go out and spread the word. So if you're out there, you want to make a little bit of money, you like nutrition, we can train you in how to do all this. If you like this show, we can create a whole lifestyle for you where you're immersed in this kind of information.
We can deputize them, Ben, and then we can have them out there stopping bank robberies and armed assault.
And stopping Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
Ooh, that's a good one, Ben.
Yes, that's right.
That's
and then keeping people from injecting nasty things into their blood.
It's all part of the game, Ben. Well, thank you very much, Ben. We will see you here next Monday, 5 p.m.
Can't wait. Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you, Ben. That was pharmacist Ben Fuchs. If you want to join the team again, I encourage you to listen to the upcoming message, and you will find out how to do that. You can also check us out at the Mineral Way. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs and I are here every Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So if you want to call in, you can do that live, 5 p.m. Pacific time. We can also take text messages. You can send those at any time of day, 831-218-5726. That's 831-218-KSCO, and my email address is kscodave@gmail.com. And if you can't remember any of that stuff, just be sure to check out themineralway.com, and you can interact there as well. So again, if you're listening to this and it is not Monday, 5 p.m. or the 5 o'clock hour, then that means that you're listening to a replay. But you can catch us live at 5 Mondays Pacific time, 5 p.m. You can also check out the archives at themineralway.com. We have a whole bunch of shows there. You can also find us on YouTube and your favorite podcasting platform, Spotify and iTunes. We're there. All you have to do is look. You're listening to The Mineral Way. We'll see you next week. Happy birthday.